For Stanislaus County is now in session. Today is Wednesday, September 27, 2023. It is 6 p.m. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And introduction of commissioners and staff. I'll start with me and go left. I'm Richard O'Brien, city member.
Vito Chiesa, Stanislaus County member.
Amy Bublak, city member.
Terry Withrow, county member.
Ken Lane, public member.
Jennifer Vieira, commission clerk.
Rob Taro, LAFCO counsel.
Sarah Lytle Penny, executive officer.
Javier Camarena, assistant executive officer.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll go to public comment, which people may come in and speak for a period of 3 minutes on subjects not on the agenda. And tonight we have Milt Treyweiler.
Good evening, Commissioners. Milt Treeweiler, and I'm a lifetime Stanislaus County resident. This summer I took an Amtrak train trip across the country to visit relatives. This train ride was really an eye-opener. In a train, even though you travel up to 79 miles per hour, you get to see everything up close. On this 4-day trip, I decided to focus on farmland across the country. The train ride from the Amtrak station in Denair to Sacramento was all farmland, except where there were houses and buildings. As we left Sacramento Valley into the Sierras, you have the foothills, and there was forest and a lot of dead trees this time too. Entering Nevada, you see mountains and desert areas into Reno. The state of Nevada has no food production except for cattle and forage. The state of Nevada looks like a beautiful place to live and the perfect place for buildings and developments. There's no good farmland there. That's where we want our housing. The train then crosses into Utah, which is a state with hardly any farmland for farm production except for cattle grazing, corn, and wheat. Entering Colorado, you have more agriculture with cattle, sheep, hay, potatoes, wheat, and even some peaches. They have a valley there, just a small valley, but they can grow peaches in it. And Nebraska comes next with soybeans, corn, beef, and pork. And finally, Iowa, which has lots of soybeans, corn, pork, and other grain products. However, these foods do not produce a balanced diet for us. The San Joaquin Valley is the most fertile, productive, and versatile agricultural area on Earth. We have the soils, the weather, the water, and the climate to make this area desirable for agricultural production. No other area in the world or nation can duplicate these exceptional conditions, and we can grow over 240 different crops. Stanislaus County has the prime farmland, the climate, and the water to grow food for the next 200 years or more. Providing our county and our nation healthy food to eat, it is LAFCO's obligation to preserve the farmland in the Riverbank proposed Riverwalk development. I repeat, it is LAFCO's obligation to preserve this farmland in the Riverbank's proposed Riverwalk development. How do I know when this 3 minutes are up here?
The red light will come on.
It's about ready to come on.
Okay. Anyway, we have to think about this. You know, we have an intelligence. We're intelligent people, but we're not using our brains. There's no other farmland like this in the world. We need to keep this farmland for food production. Thank you.
Mr. Eggers?
Good evening. Barney Eggers. I live at 7730 McHenry Avenue on the west edge of the proposed Riverwalk project, which I oppose. The past couple of months, I've been walking neighborhoods in Riverbank, chatting with residents. I would say 9 out of 10 of them oppose it after they hear what it's all about. 9 out of 10. People don't want it. They say, no, we have had enough growth here. No, we don't need to lose more farmland. No, no. They're opposed. Thank you for listening.
Ms. Eggers?
You haven't seen me for a while. I've been working. Jamie Eggers, 7730 McHenry Avenue, Modesto. Have lived there for 36 years, been a property owner for nearly 40, within the area of the proposed Riverwalk development and within the area that Riverbank proposes to annex if Riverwalk happens. Very, very concerned about this project because it's on prime ag land. As defined by the state of California, and very, very concerned about this project, which has been listed in the City of Riverbank's strategic plan since 2019. 2019 predates when the public, including myself, knew that there was even a Riverwalk project proposed. I listened to an update on their 2021 strategic plan last night at their council meeting, and very concerned that one of the goals in their strategic plan is the implementation of Riverwalk. Seems a little bit premature to me that it would be a goal for them to implement a project that hasn't yet become before the city council, hasn't yet produced a draft EIR. We thought it would be out by now. It's been over 2 years since the notice of preparation hit the street, but we're still waiting for the draft EIR. So very, very concerned, and we're hopeful that if and when this project comes before LAFCO, that you will vote no. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you to all speakers. Moving on. Any other public comment? We don't have to worry about Zoom, so correspondence?
There is no other correspondence other than what is noted on your agenda.
At this time, any staff or commissioner have any conflicts of interest or disqualifications? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar, consent items. They are listed here. Is there anyone wishing to pull any, or do we have a recommendation?
So right before I do that, can I ask County Council on the Levine Act? I know it was already in force here on LAFCO prior to. We're trying to change, I think we're just asking for conflicts, but should we be, I know the county hasn't figured out what we're going to do about it, but should we be giving our campaign donations, or are we just going to be self-policing?
Well, I'm sorry, were you done?
No, I am done.
Yeah, I think the Levine Act application is different for LAFCO than it is in your other roles. And so I think it's like anything else. You could always err on the side of disclosing too much if you wish. I mean, I don't view that as an error, really. More disclosure than less, but I don't think my understanding of it, as I sit here now, is not required for the usual LAFCO things when it might be for those of you who are elected officials for other entities. I think the application is different because of who the applicants are for LAFCO. And so I think to comply with the law, with the Levine Act law, with regard to what happens here, it would be more the traditional type of disqualifications or conflicts.
Okay. I know that there's different language now with agents or representatives, and it's getting pretty confusing.
Yeah.
That's why I just want to make sure that we don't do anything incorrect.
Well, we continue to monitor it and look at it, and like anything else that's new in the law, as different situations come up, then we have, oh, well, let's see how that applies to that, right? I know the board is going to have something different, likely on the calendar next week that we haven't seen before yet, but we think that's an appropriate, not this board, your board, but so it's like anything else, but it's new. We're learning about it as we go. It's a work in progress, but I think we're on top of it.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the consent calendar. I'm sorry.
Second.
Thank you for.
We have a motion to approve in a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 5-0. Item 6A, Public hearing, LAFCO application number 2023-02, Hoffman Ranch change of organization to Denair Community Services District.
Good evening, Javier Camarena with LAFCO. We have a fairly brief presentation tonight. The item before you is LAFCO application number 2023-02, Hoffman Ranch, change of organization to the Denair Community Services District. The project is a proposal to annex approximately 15.9 acres to the Denair Community Services District in order to provide sewer and water services to a residential subdivision. The project site is located at 4325 Arnold Road. The site is between Powell Road, Arnold Road, East Zeering Road, and Ryopel Avenue in the Denair area. Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors approved a rezone and tentative map application in June of this year. The project approval allows for a residential subdivision of 76 residential units and the expansion of an existing park. The project included a condition of approval requiring annexation to the Denair CSD. So this proposed application will fulfill that condition. In accordance with Cortese Knox Hertzberg, the Commission must consider several factors when evaluating a change of organization. Some of these factors evaluated include population, growth, local plans and policies, impacts to agriculture and services. A discussion of these factors can be found on pages 2 through 5 of the staff report. Based on the information provided, staff believes that the proposal is consistent with local plans and regulations, that the district is able to provide the services, the site is within the district's sphere of influence, and the proposal is a logical expansion of the district's boundary. Also pursuant to Government Code, the Commission may waive protest proceedings if the following apply. The first, that the territory is uninhabited. Second, that all property owners within the affected territory have given written consent. And third, that no agency opposes the waiver of the protest. All these conditions have been met, therefore the Commission may waive protest proceedings. Staff's recommendation can be found on page 6 of the staff report, which includes approval of Resolution 2023-11. The resolution would approve the annexation and waive the protest proceedings. That concludes my presentation, and staff is available for any questions.
Thank you very much. Do the commissioners have any questions of staff? Seeing none, I open a public hearing. Do we have any public?
Yes, again, Milt Treeweiler. When I speak of prime farmland, there are different qualities of prime farmland. Now, the best farmland is found in the Riverwalk, proposed Riverwalk riverbank development. That is the best. That's prime farmland. That's 85% or better of farmland. Actually, in Denair, that land is only rated at about 25 to 30. And I'm going to share with you where you can find this, and I'll actually send Sarah an email address. UC Davis, University of California, Davis, has prepared an interactive website where you can go down to every farmland property. It is that detailed. You could actually see houses and everything. And they have studied all of the soil types, and they give you the types that are the best, the prime farmland. So again, I had talked here to this commission previously, and I talked about the fact that there is differences. I was supported the expansion around Patterson to the west of Patterson, not to the east, but the farmland to the west is in a good direction to go. We want to direct our housing out of the prime farmland and into the area west of I-5. If we could get the housing built in there, that would be the ideal location. That has no farmland value whatsoever. And I don't know how much of farmland on 580 is in Stanislaus, I mean not farmland, but land that's available for building. that is in, along 580, that's in Stanislaus County. I keep trying to find the map. There's no real defined map that I've found that breaks it up where you can really see a difference. It's hard to figure out where the boundaries are for Stanislaus County. Anyway, that's where we want to build. The land in north of Turlock is also prime farmland. And you can look at this map. It'll tell you, it'll show you where this prime farmland is. It is imperative that we use our brains, that we don't get stupid and build over farmland that you can't find anywhere else in the world. You go through these states, you see so little farmland, it's unbelievable. It's not there. It's just red soil, which you can't grow on. There's no irrigation water, except in Colorado, they do have some irrigation, and they did have an area maybe 50 miles long near Grand Junction to Pueblo, where you could grow stuff. But what are they doing? We settled as pioneers, and as settlers, we settled in the best farmland areas. But we can't get that back. You're not going to turn the Altamont Pass into good farmland. And another good place, Dinair is a good place, again, because that farmland is poor farmland. Even areas around Oakdale are poor farmland. That is where our housing should go. We're not going to be able to find more farmland like this, and we can't build it. Once you build over it, you're not going to bulldoze the houses down. We've got to use our brains. We've got to think about this as responsible citizens, as responsible people. We've all gone to college. We've learned about a lot of things. We've got to use that knowledge. We can't, even around Ceres. Ceres has some great farmland. Hopefully, Sarah can email this information to you. You can go right down to a farm anywhere in your area. You can see where that 80, 85, 70, 75, 85%. And I talk to people that are even wanting to save farmland. They say, oh, look, all they're doing is planting almonds. Yes, there are a lot of almonds planted right now. But I keep telling them, this land will support 240 crops. Just this year in Georgia, there was part of a storm that came through and destroyed a great deal of their peach harvest. They were on the ground. You probably saw the news items where all these peaches are laying in the fields because the storms blew them off the trees when they were ripe. Where did they get their peaches? They got them here from California, the peaches, for Georgia. We've got to save this land.
So can you wrap it up and apply it to what we're doing tonight?
Oh, okay, sorry. Dinair is a good place to build. That area is a good place to build simply because that farmland is not the best farmland in Stanislaus County. We want to preserve the prime farmland in Stanislaus County. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none, I close the public hearing, bring it back for discussion and/or consideration.
So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve staff recommendations.
I'll second that.
So we are approving option one and waiving protest proceedings. So we have a first and we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
David drove in here for that. It's nice of him.
All right, any other business? I see none.
There's none.
Commissioners' comments? I have one quick one for the executive director and the legal. We normally do an evaluation once a year. Are you exempt this year?
We will double check. We know that the date had reset due to the
But an
promotion,
annual evaluation happens annually.
but we'll request
Is that what
that.
that means?
That's what I thought it meant.
Yeah.
It's like my plants that I plant in my garden.
I would say it's not exempt. It's just a question of clarifying the date, but annual.
Can we get that clarification somehow?
Yes.
I would
Easily.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Not to prolong this meeting, we are doing well. I have no additional matters. Executive officers report, please.
We do have a few business items for October 25th, so keep that date marked on your calendar and potentially an evaluation if one is so needed.
All right, thank you. At that, our next meeting is October 25th. This meeting is now adjourned.